right, everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Hope you guys are doing well. And this is normally where I would be doing Pass Rush Friday, but I can't because we don't actually have all the data. I don't know what's going on, but as of me recording this video on Friday morning, PFR has not fully updated their advanced stats, so I don't have the numbers. And again, I know that Pro Football Focus comes out with their data less than 24 hours after the game, and I know some people are going to say just use that, but I think the contrast between PFF and PFR is very valuable, and I don't want to lose that. So we're going to continue to use PFR for now and hope this week is just a fluke. Although, honestly, if they're going to be a week behind on their data, then they're not really going to serve me much purpose. I'm not really going to get too much out of it, so unfortunately, we're just going to have to hope that they get better going forward. And over the last couple of years, they've generally been very good about getting their data out by Wednesday. So stuff happens, right? Stuff happens. Hopefully I can make that video later today. But in the meantime, let's talk about something else for a little bit here because got to talk about something. I missed the morning video yesterday. Don't want to miss it today. So let's talk about one of the bright spots on the Seahawks offense last week, and quite possibly, and I think quite realistically, a bright spot going forward, which is actually the offensive line in pass protection, of all things. Thumbs up this video, subscribe if you're new, click the bell for notifications, become a channel member for $2 a month. Those are the best ways to support the channel. So what we have here is another great post from Stat Account. We all know the great work they do. If you are someone who is a Seahawks fan who likes advanced analytics and in-depth numbers, definitely give Stat Account or Account Stat a follow. They're awesome. They put together this pass protection chart for all offensive tackles from week 1. Now, that's kind of the key caveat here. This is week 1 only. This is data from only that one game. Obviously, that's going to skew things a little bit, but if we take a look at this chart, you will see 4 names in the upper right corner, not just the upper right quadrant, but the upper right corner. You have, 5 names, my bad. Armand Bembo, Joe Alt, Anton Harrison, Patrick Paul, and Charles Cross. So those 5 guys are as high and as far to the right as you can get. And let's explore what that means real quick. But the short version is that that's good. That's the good place. You want to be in the upper right area of this chart if you want to be good. So the y-axis is blown block percentage. This is the percentage of blocks you had where you blew the block. And there are a couple different ways you can blow a block. You can just completely whiff on the guy you're blocking. You can get completely destroyed by a move. You can commit a holding penalty. I think you guys know what a blown block looks like in a general sense. Now, there will be some subjectivity here, but the basic idea is a block that is just really brazenly and obviously not what you were supposed to do on the play. And then the x-axis is pressure percentage allowed. This is the percentage of times where in a pass block set, you allowed pressure in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you didn't blow the block, but you allowed pressure. Charles Cross is one of 5 players this week that did not allow a single pressure and did not blow a single block. Before we go any further, I want to tell you a little bit about my friends over at Sleeper. If you're not using the Sleeper app for daily fantasy football this year, you are missing out. Let's get some picks in for the week. Take a look over on the left side of your screen. Look at all this great stuff you can do over on Sleeper right now. My picks go as such. I got Jalen Hurts going over 41.5 rushing yards. I don't think Philly really trusts their passing attack right now. I think that Jalen Hurts is going to scramble a lot. I think there are going to be a lot of designed runs for him. I got JSN going over 65.5 receiving yards. Our boy. Who else are we really going to throw to right now? Clearly, we don't trust anybody else that much. And I have Travis Etienne going over 55.5 rushing yards on the Bengals. He's feeling it right now. Remember, the Sleeper app, use the promo code SBN to get a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out the Sleeper app today. Now, as of right now, this is not exactly the most exclusive club in the world. As you can see, there are 4 other tackles listed here with Cross. And I understand that after 1 week, this isn't going to be the most indicative thing in the world. You're definitely going to have some guys here that don't really belong. But in order to be here, you have to be pretty much perfect in pass protection. You have to allow nothing, and you have to not make any big mistakes. And Cross was one of the guys who did that this week. So I see no reason to not be very excited about that. And you can see that there are a ton of other tackles in the league who did allow at least one pressure or allow one blown block. So it means something. And remember, we're not just talking about one game with Charles Cross. We know that Cross played well last year, and his numbers looked a little bit ugly, mostly because of the Ryan Grubb offense. So it's not like we're making a conclusion based off one game here. We have a good data set. By the way, while we're here, just for fun, Abe Lucas actually did pretty well as well. He had one blown block because his blown block percentage was about league average, 4%. And Sam Darnold, given how often he dropped back to pass, you do the math, and it's one blown block over the course of the game. And then he had a pressure rate that was a little bit higher than average. It was about 8% approximately. The average for this week was about 7, maybe 6.5. So it was certainly not a great game, but let's remember who he's going up against as well. That's certainly a consideration here. So even Abe Lucas, the guy on the other side, who is a little bit of a goat right now, and I mean the negative kind of goat because he was the guy who kind of blew the most important play of the game. I know that some people at least are looking back at him a little bit negatively. It's not bad. There's a lot worse out there. I mean, look at some of the guys like Tyler Guyton. Look at James Hudson. Look at Dan Moore, the Titans' new $80 million man. Look at him getting completely abused, maybe the worst tackle in the league this week who played meaningful snaps. So it's not bad. And I know that there are going to be teams out there with a better pass rush than the Niners, but there aren't going to be that many players better than Nick Bosa, especially week 1 Nick Bosa before he starts to get dinged up a little bit. Healthy Nick Bosa, it doesn't get that much better than him. And it's not just these numbers. It's not just these numbers. You've got the cut up. So this guy right here on X, and a couple other people have reposted it, but I found it from this guy here, CV23 or Ryan Land on X, posted a cut up of every Charles Cross one-on-one pass set versus Nick Bosa. So this is Charles Cross operating on hard mode, and he looks great. Like, he legitimately has Nick Bosa in jail on most of these sets. I'm not going to play the video on stream. You are on video, on my video. You can watch it if you want to. I know a couple other people have reposted it as well. You can find it no problem on X. But Charles Cross, he did really well against Bosa. And again, there aren't going to be a lot of players that he plays over the course of this season that are on the level of Nick Bosa. So this was hard mode, and he was pretty dominant. And by the way, speaking of cut-ups, Stat Account posted this from the game on Sunday. Gray's able, one-on-one pass protection snaps. And obviously he's not going up against the cream of the crop in the NFL. He's going up against the Niners interior defensive lineman, which is not super high-level competition right now, but he looks really good too. If you watch this cut up, I think you will come away feeling like Gray Zabel did his job in pass protection on Sunday. Now, run blocking is a different story, I think. I think Zabel struggled there a little bit, and I think that that's something that needs to get better. And you could argue that also goes for a guy like Abe Lucas. But the point I'm trying to make here, the big picture I'm trying to make here is I think we're close. I really do. I think we're close. And think about how hard we had to work to get to this point. Right now, the Seattle Seahawks have, the Seattle Seahawks have a left tackle who is being placed among the best left tackles, the best tackles, period, in the game by many. This is not just this chart. You have Pro Football Focus ranking him as a top 4 tackle in the league this week. You have the metrics saying he didn't allow any pressures. You have the tape that's telling you that he's doing a great job out there. You have all these things in your favor with Cross. You have the Abe Lucas stuff, which I know it wasn't his best game. I know some people are a little bit down on him. I understand. But I can assure you guys it wasn't that bad. And either way, we know that Abe Lucas has been a good player. We know that when he's been out there over the course of the last few years, when he's healthy, he plays at a much higher level than anything we've had there in quite some time. So that's your tackles. Those are your two most important offensive linemen. And then you've got whatever's going on with Gray Zabel, where we need to see more evidence. But early indications are exciting. It's not perfect, but he seems like he can at least play the position well. How well, we'll find out. But if your concern with Zabel was that he wouldn't be able to hack it at the left guard spot, it looks like he can. Those are the three most important positions on the offensive line. Those are the three positions that are the hardest to fill. So the Seahawks are close. They are so close to actually building a legitimately good offensive line. At the very least, an offensive line that can keep the quarterback clean. The thing that we never really had for Geno, the thing that we rarely had for Russell Wilson, we might finally be there, guys. And all I can say, don't mess it up here. And I'm not even really talking so much about this year, although this year would be nice. One way or the other, though, take it home. Get to the end of this year. If Anthony Bradford isn't the guy, go get the guy. And don't miss this time. If Christian Haynes isn't the guy too, get him out of here, go get somebody else. If Jalen Sundell isn't the guy, get rid of him, go get another guy. Do not mess around here. We are so close to having something that actually resembles not only the offensive line of the early Russell Wilson era, but the offensive line of the Holmgren Seahawks. And think about how nice that would be, to actually have the offensive line be a strength of the team. We're not that far away. And again, I'm mostly talking about pass protection in this video, but hey, these are not going to be bad run blockers either. Cross has actually been a good run blocker for the last year plus now, and he was good run blocking in that game against the Niners. Lucas is one of the strongest guys on the team. He can run block too. Wasn't his best game on Sunday. And Zabel should be able to. Give him some time. It'll come along. The fact that he is looking so competent on pass protection should be the main thing that you're thinking about right now with Zabel. But those three things are the hardest thing to do with an offensive line. Right guards are everywhere. Right guards are easy to find. I wouldn't quite say dime a dozen, but it's not that far from the truth. You can find right guards in this league pretty easily. Center, yeah, there's some work involved, but once you got the tackles and you got the left guard, that's the easy part. So don't mess it up now. We're really close, and this is something that we can be excited about. Whatever you think of Kubiak, whatever you think of Darnold, whatever you think of K9 or Charbonnet or Elijah Arroyo or JSN, this is something that we as Seahawks fans, I think, can just really get behind. So let me know what you guys think down below. I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit because I really want to celebrate this Charles Cross thing because this is such a big deal, and I really feel like it's happening, and I feel like not everybody's really understanding how good this is. We got a very bad picture of what Charles Cross is last year because of Ryan Grubb's offense, I think. I think that this year in a normal offense, even if it ends up not being a good offense, it'll at least be a relatively normal offense, and that should allow Charles Cross to look like one of the best in the league, which he is. Okay, that's it for this video. Hopefully Pro Football Reference comes out with their data soon. But let me know what you think, because this is what we've been chasing for a long time. And I know it's ironic that I'm saying all this, and yet we're talking about a game we still lost and the offense didn't do anything. But look, even in the loss, even with only 13 points scored, Sam Darnold was hit twice that whole game. That means something. That counts for something. All right, everybody have a great rest of your day. Go Hawks. There will be more videos later, and something to think about. Something to be happy about, even coming off a loss.